Good afternoon, everybody. This is Charlie Flohr, head football coach here at South Dakota Mines. Great and exciting day here in Rapid City to welcome 25 new members to our football program and to South Dakota Mines. Just want to first start off with some thank yous to everybody involved throughout the process. Dr. Rankin and the Executive Council here at South Dakota Mines, for believing in me, believing in our staff, to go out and find the best fit, the best student athletes that we can get here to Mines. Joel Lukin, our Director of Athletics, and his staff for the amount of effort that they've put in kind of behind the scenes, making sure that our athletic programs are up and running, and a lot of legwork from those people to again make sure that this signing class goes the way we want it to go and as smooth as possible. Molly Moore, our Director of Admissions, and her staff, they did a phenomenal job of setting up the visits on the academic side of things with our professors. We've got a great product here at South Dakota Mines that we know we have and we want to share to those student athletes, and her staff did a great job of getting everything lined up, making sure that the academic side went smooth. And then last but not least, just our staff. We spend a lot of time away from our families. This recruiting process and this class really goes back, almost a little over 300 days from the previous recruiting class. They spent a lot of time on the road, a lot of time with phone calls, a lot of time away from their families, doing the proper research that they needed to do to make sure that we were getting the best fit and the right kids here for our class. And I felt they did a great job of going and finding those kids, and can't wait to announce the 25 and present them to you. Also with our staff is their families. My wife, and it's a tough process. You spend a lot of time and efforts away from them, and for the amount of sacrifice that their families have had with their coaches and their fathers and husbands away from it makes it tough and challenging. So I greatly appreciate our staff and their families for their time and effort in making sure that this recruiting class got finalized. So with that being said, I want to introduce 25 new members of our Hard Rocker family today. It's going to consist of 25 kids from 11 different states. When we go through the recruiting process, we want to always make sure that we're taking care of our backyard. And first and foremost, that's a huge thing for us. We're going to get 25 kids, like I said, from 11 different states: Colorado, South Dakota, Arizona, Texas, Georgia, Indiana, Iowa, Nebraska, Nevada, North Dakota, and Washington. So you can see it was a big widespread, especially on the western side of the country, a little bit of the Midwest, but 13 of our 25 kids are coming, right here from either the state of South Dakota or Colorado. So, great recruiting class. Really excited about this group. Just going to talk a little bit about them, where they're from, those types of things, and look forward to sending our release out to everybody, and you guys can follow up on them and where they're from and all the accolades that our kids have. So let's start off first with Justice Alcorn. Justice is a quarterback from Shadron, Nebraska. Justice is 6'5", 200 pounds. A local kid, actually lived here in Rapid City for a long period of time with his family. His dad, Zach, played at Black Hill State, was in the league for a little bit. A great name, very athletic kid. We're super excited to have him come in and really be the leader of this class from the quarterback standpoint, and get things moving in the right direction there with this class. But really excited about Justice and the direction he's going to take this class. Next one is Max Amica, offensive lineman. He's 6'1", 270 pounds. From Goodyear, Arizona. Max was up here a couple times, came for a game day visit, came up here for an official visit. Family really fell in love with the Black Hills area and Rapid City and the school. And really excited about Max, going to add a lot of great depth to our program. Next one is Tyree Bailey, defensive back, 6 foot, 190 pounds, from Las Vegas, Nevada. really, through the recruiting process, you find out a lot of things about kids when you're recruiting them. He's originally from the St. Louis area, the area that I used to recruit at my previous institution. So, we had some good connections there. He's going to come in and add a lot of depth to our defensive back. Great young talent that's got an opportunity to come in and potentially play next year. Next one is Barrett, running back, 6 foot, 200 pounds from Sturgis Brown High School, right up the road. Connor, All-State running back from Sturgis, a great kid, great work ethic, runs extremely hard. They got a lot of mileage out of him up there, and we're looking for a lot of those things down here. He's going to come in and continue to add to a great group of running backs that we have currently in our program. Next one is Noah Porcher, defensive back from Gilbert, Arizona, 6'2", 180 pounds. An unbelievable long safety, the type of kid that just really brings a lot of versatility to the defensive back room, can play a wide variety of positions. Did a tremendous job on special teams for Campo Verde High School, and he's going to bring a lot of depth to our safety position, but also add a lot of depth to our special team side of things, and really excited about knowing his future here. Next one is Kevin Brooksville, offensive lineman from Fort Collins, Rocky Mountain High School, 6'4", 260 pounds. Kevin played right tackle for Rocky Mountain, and just again a very smart, intelligent football player. A kid that's going to come in here and again continue to add a lot of depth to our offensive line. Big, long kid. You'll see a lot of nastiness from him on film. Not afraid to finish people when they need to be finished within the game of football. So, Kevin, great kid, comes from a great high school program, and really excited to have him a part of our football family. Next one is Jackson Bush, an offensive lineman from Cypress, Texas, 6'5", 255 pounds. Again, a kid that, kind of came of his own, was a versatile player for them, played center and tackle during the course of his junior and senior year. He's got a lot of room of growth, a lot of, things that you really can't teach. A very smart football player, played at a football program that maybe wasn't as successful as they wanted to be, but really stood out on film. And we're excited to get a kid down from the Houston area and continue to add a little bit more depth to our offensive line. Next one is Cody Conner, defensive lineman, outside linebacker from Denver, Colorado, Faith Christian High School. Comes from a good football family. Dad's the high school football coach down there. Just a great kid, great talent. Again, versatile, runs around, makes a lot of plays, and is going to come in here and really push and continue to add depth at kind of that outside linebacker, defensive end position for us. Going to add a lot of development, growth. He's kind of got that frame that we know in a couple years he's going to get a lot bigger. Next one is Elijah Davis, defensive end, outside linebacker from Mesa Ridge, which is in Fountain, Colorado, 6 foot, 200 pounds. Really reminded us for you Hard Rocker fans of a guy like Keontae Christian, a guy that's very athletic, very mobile. Got moved around on the field, makes a lot of plays, tackle for losses, interceptions, just one of those guys, wherever the football was, he was on film. And, just really excited for him to, come in and that was a big selling point for us as we kind of have that position, that Keontae's been playing, and, we feel he can come in and potentially fill his shoes and, be a big impact player for us. Next one is Levi Dickson, linebacker from Indiana, Owensville, Indiana. Levi we feel is a special talent. He was one of those kids that actually was on campus at Colorado Mines when we played them for a game day visit, and saw us and really liked how we played, how our defensive guys played. And came here for a visit, after he reached out to us, and fell in love with the place. Started off actually as a freshman, sophomore at a school in Illinois. The family moved over to Indiana, and played inside linebacker for them. State champion. Comes from a very good football program. Dad was a coach, so all those intangible things are going to make him a special football player for us, and really excited about Levi and his future here. Next one is Caleb Franklin. Caleb is a mid-year transfer for us from Fort Scott Community College from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Tremendous kid. He came here before the signing period, before the spring semester, fell in love with the place, knew a little bit about Rapid City, but once he kind of went through our school, saw the things that we have here academically, the amount of hands-on experience that we have, absolutely fell in love with the place. He's a special kid, has done a great job for us down in the weight room from a leader up to this point right now. He is going to add a lot more depth to us from a defensive line standpoint, and really excited about Caleb and his future here. Our next one is Gabe Fischer, linebacker from Sioux Falls, Washington, out of Sioux Falls. Gabe, from a high school standpoint, was our first commitment. He was here for camp, and was one of those active kids in camp. We tried to keep things a little bit low key because it was 2 weeks before their season started. But the kid's got a motor. The kid flies around. The kid's not afraid to throw his body around, and just really excited about that. For us to continue to get some more depth, especially kids coming from the eastern side of the state. That's been a huge thing for us, is just to make our presence more visible within the state of South Dakota, and we feel we got a great one over there from Sioux Falls, Washington. Our next one is Cole Griffin, linebacker from Fort Collins, Rocky Mountain High School. Cole's a lot like about Gabe, the kid I just talked about. Very active. Did a lot of things for them, was also a running back, carried the ball quite a bit for them on the offensive side. Then defensively, was a force to be reckoned with, running around, great sideline to sideline player, also a very good wrestler, and just really excited about Cole. Again, coming from a very good high school out of Rocky Mountain, which we've had a lot of kids within our program come out of there, and know Cole's going to come in and represent that school well and represent us well. Our next one is Ty Harris, running back from Manville High School out of Houston, Texas. Ty was one of those kids we kind of got on late a little bit, through the recruiting process. He had a lot of stuff going on, and unfortunately, for the other schools, and fortunate for us, we were able to get on him, and we got him up on campus. He and his family had a great visit, really liked our school, really loved the hands-on experience. A special kid coming out of a very good high school program down in the Houston area. And we're really fortunate to get a kid out of Manville High School. Ty's going to come in here and again be a big part of our running attack, and I think you're going to see a lot of great things from him. Our next one is Taylor Hoer. Taylor is a defensive lineman from Oldham, South Dakota. He's another mid-year transfer from Northern State, defensive lineman. Kid that played a lot last year within the Northern Sun. Was very active, very disruptive for Northern State. He's going to come in here and hopefully be an impact player for us right away. He comes from a great family. Again, another local kid that fell in love with the hands-on experience here from the engineering standpoint. Had a lot of good friends on our team that he knew from high school. We made a really good connection with him, and are super excited that Taylor made the decision to come at semester time and look for great things from him. Our last mid-year transfer was Bross Lee. Bross is a DB. He's actually from Denver, Colorado, but he was at Antelope Valley College before that. Again, one of those kids that we found out from a lot of our current players within our team. Was out at Antelope Valley for a couple of years. Put the film on and watched him from a DB standpoint. And again, one of those kids that's versatile, very smart football player. Got asked to do a lot of things. Has some college football experience. And again, he's fit in well with our kids. Done a phenomenal job down in the weight room. Continuing to show leadership, and he's going to add a lot of depth to our DBs, our safety position, as well as the special team side of things. Our next one is Will Lester. Will Lester is a defensive back from Arvada, Colorado. Was at East Coast Prep out in the East on the East Coast in Pennsylvania, but he's actually from Ralston Valley High School. So we had a great connection with one of our current players. They went to high school together. We're really good friends. And, again, those are great phone calls when those kids reach out to us, saying they want to get back to the Midwest. And, once we got he and his family on campus, they fell in love with the place. A big, strong, long, athletic safety that can play a little bit of corner and even potentially play in the box and some run game stuff. So, the overall versatility of Will is going to help us out on the defensive side of the football. Our next one is Jackson McCollum from Kennewick, Washington, 6'4", 290 pounds. Big, strong, athletic offensive lineman. Real quick story on Jackson. Back in October, got a phone call from one of my good friends back in Maryville, Missouri, that sent me a message. Hey, you need to look at this kid. You have a good relationship with his dad. We worked together at a previous institution. Watched his film, showed our offensive line coach's film, and started to make the connection. And really excited to have Jackson a part of our program. He's a state champion heavyweight wrestler in the state of Washington. He and his dad came out for his visit, and it was one of those things where when he got off the plane, got on campus, and we looked at him, he looked at us, and we just knew it was a good natural fit. Comes from a football family, very successful program up there, and we're really excited about Jackson. Our next one is Dylan McDonald from Glenburn, North Dakota. Dylan was another offensive lineman that was at our camp back in the summertime, late July, and just really showed the toughness, showed the grit, everything that we're looking for within our characteristics and the recruiting process. Works extremely hard, and he's got great potential. He's 6'2", about 300 pounds. Great size, great mobility. Moves extremely well. The day before our camp, he took a visit on campus, fell in love with the place, fell in love with Rapid City, and all of those things just make our program. We feel that much better is because we have those things to sell, and that's what a lot of those kids that are maybe coming from a little bit of a distance, and he was one of those kids that fell in love with our campus, fell in love with our staff, and fell in love with our program. So we're really excited to see Dylan and watch him progress through his career. Our next student athlete is Jack McFarland. Jack is a tight end, 6'2", 225 pounds, from Boulder Creek, Arizona. Jack was a kid we had here back in December, and you watch his film as a tight end, receiver type kid. He was one of those utility type players that they moved him around a lot. Had a lot of good catches. I think he was one of the top players, all-state kid in 6A down in Arizona. Got a lot of accolades. I know he's getting ready to play in an all-star game this Saturday. Had a great connection with him and his family through the whole recruiting process, and we feel we got a steal out of Jack, and he's going to produce some great numbers within our football program, and excited about his career. Our next student athlete is Dax Polka, running back from Windsor, Colorado, 5'9", 200 pounds. Dax is a special kid. You throw his film on, and he's a little bit shorter, I think, for a lot of people, but for us, he's a short, stocky kid that runs extremely hard and makes people miss. He's got great feet, great versatility. The thing that really, kind of surprised us after watching him more and more was, even though he's probably more of a running back, just his overall versatility. A kid that we can move in a lot of different spots for us as an offense within our program. Motion him out and let him catch balls out in the perimeter, throw a lot of screens too. He's just one of those great dynamic kids within our program, and feel he's gonna create some nightmares for us, as an offense and for opposing defenses, that he's gonna be able to move around and create some mismatches for the opponents. Our next student athlete is Dom Smith, specialist kicker punter out of Sturgis. Dom, again, was one of those local kids that had been here for camp. He'll come down here and kick in our stadium. Was here in the summertime. He and his family, spent a lot of time, on campus, and they've been here, played football games here in high school, and knew a lot about the school. And with the specialist side of things, we're in a position where, field position is a huge deal here in the RMAC. And, Dom's got a strong leg, soccer player as well. His dad's the high school soccer coach up there at Sturgis. So, comes from an athletic family, athletic background, and he's going to come in here and be productive within our football program. Our next one is Alex Stern, tight end, 6'4", 215 pounds from Frederick, Colorado, Frederick High School. Again, Alex is one of those versatile kids. Most of the time within the tight end position in high school, he had his hand in the ground, but very athletic, can move around, move out in space, flex him out as a receiver. Just give us, again, another added dimension within our offense. Phenomenal kid. Really excited about him, knowing that he's going to come in here, get bigger, get stronger, and create, again, a lot more mismatches for us on the offensive side. Our next one is Brayden Temple, defensive back from Sturgis Brown High School, 5'10", 155 pounds. Brayden, again, another local kid that, lives in Sturgis. Been to a lot of football games within the area, a multi-sport athlete. Is wrestling right now for them. Have the honor of going and watching a few matches of his, and just a tough kid. Not afraid to be scrappy. Works extremely hard. Comes from an athletic family. His dad played football up at Black Hill State. And, just know the type of kid that we're getting with Brayden. He's going to come in here, work his tail off, and, really be a big asset to our football team. So it's really excited about Brayden and his family joining our family. And then the last one is J.J. Vanderzee, offensive lineman from Rock Rapids, Iowa, Central Lyon High School. Central Lyon High School has been very good to our football program. The last couple of years, we've had some really good kids come out of there. Jarrett Meyer, defensive lineman that joined our program a couple of years ago. JJ, again, another offensive lineman that's tough. He's gritty. He's, a nasty type player. Plays through the whistle every snap. Works extremely hard. Again, fell in love with the school, fell in love with everything that we're doing within our football program. And, can't say enough great things about him as well. So, overall, very, very happy with our class. We've got 25 great student athletes that made the decision to join our family. And that's ultimately what we're looking for. Any type of kid that's going to come in here and be a great fit for us as a football program, but be a great fit for us academically, be a great fit for us within the community. We ask a lot of our scholar athletes here to be involved in a lot of different things, not just be great football players, but to make sure that they're out in the community. They're going to class every day, sustaining a lot of the things that we know that they can be successful. And these 25 guys that I went through, very, very excited about, and know that they're going to be a great addition to our football family, and really excited about the future for these guys as well as the rest of our football team. Tonight, we're going to present our class in a little bit more detail out at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 6 p.m. So if you can make it, we'd love to have you out there. We'll show a little bit of film and go into a little bit more detail about these 25 guys, our schedule, and everything that is involved with our program moving forward the rest of the year. So greatly appreciate everybody's time, greatly appreciate everybody's support of Hard Rocker football, and really excited about the direction of our football program. Thank you very much, and go Hard Rockers.